Hello everyone, welcome back to April Notes. It's been a long time. I'm so excited to be bringing one die being used 5 ways to you today. Let's make 5 cards using this beautiful block print Pretty Peacock die set from Birch Press Designs. I grabbed the Lagoon cardstock pack. It's 6x6 cardstock by Memory Box, and I just naturally was drawn to this because peacocks are turquoisey, right? Greeny and turquoisey and kind of pretty mermaidy colors, and I just wanted to start this first card off using some of those colors. So I used the die, and as you'll see, the die cuts the negative space into the paper, and I'm just punching out all those extra little feathers. And then the other pieces of the die, the body and the head, those all are 2 separate dies. And I cut those out from white cardstock. I really wanted to just arrange the pieces, see how it would kind of look. I like to, oftentimes when I'm working with the die and it's new for me, I like to cut things out in white just to see how it'll piece together. I then later cut it out in some other colors just so I could see how it would look, and I ended up really liking those turquoise colors, and I used a marker to color the beak kind of orange. I also was thinking, well, I'd like to do die cut inlay for this first card, and so I die cut on some iridescent or like pearlish turquoise paper and gold paper. Excuse my hair in the way. It was really hard to get footage because I realized my head was blocking the camera a lot of the times, but I used some die cut inlay to place the gold petals, and I wanted to piece the body together. And after I did that, I then realized, I actually wanted to use some of the turquoise petals too. And so off screen, I did a lot of die cut inlay. I put this entire card panel onto a A2 card front. And then I realized I need a sentiment, and I'm really liking how this is looking. I grabbed this birthday cheer sentiment with the paper piece, and I wanted something that would be bold, easy to use, and I actually haven't used this one yet. It's beautiful, and so I cut that out of gold and turquoise cardstock. And as you can see there, I love this die so much. It has the negative space, and then to match the card colors, I decided to put the gold onto turquoise. You could also put the letters back in and just have it all one color or have it different colors depending on what works. I thought I would pop that up on foam tape. And then I have a really hard time ending a card without some sort of bling. And so bling, there it is. That's what I decided to do. I just added a few little dots, fairy jewels across the card, and that's done. Card number 2. I'm really excited because I love bling and I love gold. And I cut the card panel from a gold piece of cardstock. And I'm going to link all of these supplies below also. I grabbed all of my memory box, or a lot of my memory box pattern paper packs, because I couldn't, that's a tongue twister, pattern paper packs, because I couldn't figure out which color, which pattern I really wanted to use. I wanted to find something that could fit behind this particular gold panel. I wanted it to be shimmery. So this is the second way. The first way was die cut inlay. The second way is easily just doing the die cut and then using pattern paper behind it. I finally settled on this absolutely beautiful like fall autumn stack that I have, and I used the light colored, I don't know what these are. It's kind of like these pretty circles. It's kind of shimmery. But I used that, I chose that to be behind the card. And I just cut it down to size because I didn't want to use the whole card front. I grabbed just the piece I need, and I'm saving the rest of it for later. And then I'm just trimming it down to size. And did I save these extra little pieces? Oh, you bet I did. I saved every tiny little piece. No piece left behind. Now I'm just grabbing, remember those white pieces of the peacock that I had earlier? Yes, I grabbed those. Off screen, I'm just lightly inking them with blue. And I'll admit I am not good at lightly inking, but I tried really hard here. So just a little blue light ink to add just a little interest. I colored the beak orange, and I'm just adhering that to the card front. I then grabbed kind of one of the sister dies to the birthday cheer die. It's the Thinking of You. I love this one also. I love paper piecing, and so these sort of dies make me happy. And for this one, I decided to go all white so that the card, we could really focus on the beautiful gold cover, the gold accents behind. And I just did the background white. I did the Thinking of You white, and then I just popped those pieces back in with a little liquid glue. And that is it. This card is done and ready to go to someone. Okay, so can we talk about these circle dies that make the body of the peacock? I think they're absolutely beautiful. I'm slightly obsessed with things that have ridges, and I had this idea for using one die 5 ways. Who said we had to make a peacock for one of the cards? And so I grabbed some bright colors. I don't know, summer's coming, right? Soon. We're in spring. Maybe I'm just longing for more sun. And I grabbed another paper pack that has some brighter oranges, reds, that beautiful pale yellow. And I just selected kind of a rainbow of oranges and reds. Is that what you call it? And I cut a bunch of these circle dies from that cardstock. I cut it, I think, twice from each color. I have this idea to arrange the circles in kind of like opposite colors. And so here I want it to be organized mismatch. And so I like started with the red, and then I skipped 2 colors over, put the next size, skip 2 colors over, did the next size. A little confusing. You could do it however you like, but I just wanted the colors to I didn't want to have the same color next to each other. And then I decided to see what it would look like popped up on foam tape, and I loved it. So that's how I made my card front. I popped all of these up on foam tape. I did have 2 extra. I'm going to save those. I'm sure they will come in handy later for a different card. And I glued them to a card front. You know, they're not perfect. I didn't perfectly center everything, but I absolutely loved how this turned out. I grabbed 1 more or 2 more of these colors. I really wanted to use that birthday cheer die set again and make another sentiment. I toyed with putting the sentiment on the inside because I'm loving the front so much, but I thought, no, this card deserves to have a sentiment right on front. And I think it turned out, this is one of my favorites I've made in a while. Now, of course, I have to add some bling. I didn't add bling on the last card. We need bling. And so I did add a few of these jewel drops here. And I think that turned out absolutely fantastic. All right, card number 4. Let's do stenciling. And I just wanted to recap. What have we done? We've done die cut inlay, we've done pattern paper behind the die, and used just a part of the die, the circle dies, to make that last card, the birthday cheer card. Here I'm using 1 color with one of my ink brushes, and I just inked a little bit heavier on the top part of the die and a little bit lighter on the bottom part. And then I'm using one of those dark blue colors from that Lagoon paper pack to make the peacock body. I grabbed these I don't know, petals from the earlier card. Recall this? I had put them on that press and seal, and I wanted to see what it would look like to just glue a few on the card. It reminds me of that book when I was growing up with the fish, and he had the beautiful scales. And I remember the book was so great because it had the scales just on little parts of him, and I thought it was amazing. And then, of course, I had to add bling. Did I go crazy adding the bling to the eye of the peacock? Maybe. I don't know. Call me crazy. I did it. And I added bling with the birthday cheer also. I really like this die, so I decided to just stay consistent. And then I adhered all of this to a card front, added a little bit more bling, and look at her shine. I absolutely love this. All right, card number 5. Let's go. I kind of want to play Mambo number 5. Maybe I'll put it in the background. I wanted to do a dry emboss, and so I grabbed my Gemini Junior User Manual, clear cutting plate, rubber embossing mat, the material to be embossed, the die, a magnetic shim, which I do have one, and then another clear cutting plate. Could not remember the sandwich. And so I tried it out on this red cardstock. And you know what? It turned out great. But I actually wanted to use orange cardstock. So I did another one off screen on an actual card panel size that I could use and cut it down a little bit later. And here I'm just playing. I wasn't sure what I was doing. This is my artsy fartsy moment, and I grabbed markers and just started coloring with different orange red colors. Remember those circles that I had before? Oh yeah, I saved those, and I used one of those for the body. And then instead of a die, I thought, this needs a bold sentiment. So I grabbed my bold sentiment set. That's not what it's called. I'll link it below. I can't remember exactly what it's called right now because it's not in front of me, but you get the point. I decided to still do a thinking of you because I have a lot of thinking of you on birthdays I need to send out. I didn't do a thank you. I need to do some thank you cards, and I did it in dark black over and over. I will admit, she looks more like a little snail than a peacock. I will concede to that. So if you wanted to do a snail, this is also a really great set for that. It is a peacock though, so whichever one makes you feel happiest. She is a snail. She is a very glitterful, amazing snail, and I love her. And I'm gonna put that on a card panel, and then we're gonna call it a day for card number 5. Now let's take a look at all 5 cards in reverse order. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's my reverse sound. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will be linking all of the supplies down below that I used from Birch Press and Memory Box. And I hope you learned some new ways to use this die, and we'll check it out. See you soon. Bye.